Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Club Jaguar, another Monday edition of Club Jaguar because the holidays have decided to hijack our Wednesday. So we're moving it over to Monday. And of course, we have to because the Jaguars are on a 7-game winning streak. We're 12-4 right now. Jaguars have a chance to lock up the AFC South on Sunday with a home game against the Titans. Vibes are great right now. Vibes are great. So we got to bring in the fellow co-host. We got to bring in Jordan DeLuga from Jinjag. What's up, man?
Vibes are good. Are they? Things going pretty well around here?
Oh yeah, I think so. What do you think? 7-game winning streak? Are we too spoiled now? Should it be 8?
A 7-game winning streak, Christmas weekend, leading up into New Year's Eve. I don't know if it gets much better than that.
Yeah, the only thing that could have gotten better, the Chargers helped us out a little bit, right? We could have had the AFC South lock, but it's all shaping up, to have a hat and T-shirt game and celebrate it at home in Duval instead
They
of.
could have too. I mean,
yeah.
That game was a lot closer than it looked like it was going to be.
Yeah, no, yeah,
That's
it really
for sure.
did. We also got to bring in Jason from Jaguars United. What's up, Jason?
Hey, man, my vibes are high, dude. I'm feeling good. I've been through so much Jags bad football. You're not going to hear me complain one bit, and I hope everybody had a Merry, Merry Christmas and had some good time with their families and hopefully enjoyed the Jags win just as much.
Yeah, we definitely had to sweat that one out, but I agree with you, man. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. And, the Jaguars came over here, went to Indy after – probably what was expected after the Denver Broncos game. It was an emotional game. It was a huge game. You went over there in Denver, you beat a top seed, and then you're back on the road 7, days later over in Indy against kind of a reeling Colts team who really didn't have anything to play for besides spoiler. And you play a close game. I mean, you're down 10-0 that game. You also have a deficit at halftime after Trevor Lawrence threw the pick. But the Jaguars wound up toughing it out, even through some interesting decision-making by Liam Cohen, and the Jaguars win 23-17, cover the spread. So I guess that's good. So, I guess, Jordan, what were your overall thoughts about this game?
Yeah, it felt like one of those games the Jaguars played earlier in the year. And we've talked about this a little bit on the show, and when they play on the road, there's a lot more of a chance for this type of game to happen. Like we've seen that throughout this year. When they're playing at home, they've been pretty damn dialed. I mean, the only game at home that they've lost was against the Seahawks. And even though they kind of got out physicaled in that game, especially on the offensive line to the defensive line, they were still in that game. On the road, you've seen some more wonky things happen. You hadn't seen that as much lately, but it's reminiscent of the game against the Cardinals or the Raiders or different things like that. And I do think that the Colts are a better team, even though they're on this losing streak. I think they're a better team than the Cardinals and the Raiders and some of those other teams the Jaguars had struggled with on the road earlier in the year. But overall, they found ways to win. They got down 10-0. After that, they outgained the Colts significantly. They played better defense than the Colts. There was some weird officiating / bounces of the ball / couple bad decisions here and there, and you wind up in a game in which you're just eking it out at the end.
Yeah, let's hear it, Jason. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think the resiliency of this team was cool to see. I mean, I think Jordan put it good. Yeah, I like what he said, that this reminded us of like earlier in the season. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was a moment there when Trevor threw that pick at the end of the first half where I might have been like, oh man, here we go again, But like Trevor, he did what he's done most of the year as he came out, of the half, and he put the team on his shoulders. I mean, receivers weren't getting open. I thought the Colts did a really good job in their defensive pass coverage of kind of not letting receivers get open, and Trevor kind of put it on himself to run the ball when he had to, and defense stepped up big. And, I like the hook and ladder play. It's a bummer it didn't work, but when that sort of thing happens, and then you got to rebound, and that's what they did. So overall, like closer than I would have liked it to be, but if an NFL game, you come out with a win on the road against a division rival, like I will never complain about that.
No, absolutely. And I think going into this one, it was obviously a little bit weird. Just like I said, after the Denver Broncos game, you have that big time high, then you go on the road a week later. And I know even before the game, we knew there was a good chance of Robert Hainsey being out and right guard Patrick McCary. But then we also got word early in the morning that Anton Harrison was questionable with an illness. So I was a little bit like, okay, we might be down 3 out of our 5 starting offensive linemen. That's definitely less than ideal. But Trevor Lawrence definitely took some hits. It's kind of back-to-back weeks where Trevor did take some licks, but I like the resilience, and I do think that it was good to, I think, have a game like this. I know it's kind of being debated, but when you have blowout victories every week, I don't think you learn nearly as much as if you have like a battle like this where it, I guess, humbles you maybe a little bit. There were some obviously decisions over there that were to be made. I think Liam Cohen, whether it's not accepting the 2nd and 2 offsides and wanting to kind of push it to get the extra down. I understand the sentiment, but the Jaguars shot themselves in the foot on that one. Even the going for it on 4th and 1 instead of taking the lead. I like that Liam Cohen has some, confidence in this team, but it's, sometimes there's just some things where it's like, okay, let's. I feel like sometimes the Jaguars getting into the game, we sometimes have trouble just putting it away. Like, we have the ball last, we can't run the clock out, and we literally set the Colts up where they're able to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. It's just, you would like it to not get to that point. So I think there's definitely some learning opportunities here. But overall, you win a game on the road. You have 7 wins in a row right now. We're 12-4. I mean, I think these are the times that we've dreamed of as Jags fans, right? Like, we're right in the middle of it. I know we're always on to next week and we look big picture at the playoffs over in January, but if we just kind of sit back and take a look at where we are on this Monday, December 29th, I mean, we're 12-4. This is pretty damn cool.
Yeah, most people, you don't realize you're in the good old days until they're gone. And right now, you're in the middle of some pretty damn good days for Jacksonville Jaguars fans. You got a hell of a head coach, got a quarterback playing at an extremely high level, even though, the interception wasn't even the play I really had a big issue with. It was the Cam Mitchell interception that he dropped. That was right to the defender that he had no business throwing that football. I mean, at least with the Parker Washington play, you understand the idea there, even if he did have some room to run himself. You understand the idea of attacking with Parker Washington against a linebacker one-on-one. Maybe not the best placement and execution of that play, but look, things are not going to be perfect in the NFL. You don't have perfect football teams. Show me the perfect football team right now. There isn't one. But I think the Jaguars have as much danger to them that they can present to opponents as anyone, certainly in the AFC right now.
Yeah. So if you were to rank your top issue that you would want to get fixed for the playoffs, more than anything, like the thing that you think we have to get right going into the playoffs, would it be the penalties? Would it be giving up too many short yard passes? Would it be stopping the run? Would it be Trevor throwing interceptions? Like, in y'all's mind, like, what's the number one thing that has to get cleaned up if we want to make a run?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough question because I don't think there's anything that the Jaguars are really, really bad at right now. But there are some things like last game, it might be an anomaly, but the kickoffs, the kick coverage, like you can't allow 2 kicks to go into your territory when the playoffs get here. Obviously, that's probably an anomaly. The Jaguars haven't been really bad at that this year, but that's one thing. But I think it's just mainly like, I just don't know when it comes to maybe the secondary. Like, do we have the dogs that can line up when you're playing real true alpha wide receiver ones? Like, if the Jaguars line up and have to play, the Texans, who's gonna wind up guarding Nico Collins? If the Jaguars, play some of these other AFC teams, Cortland Sutton put up some numbers. So I don't know. I think for me, I just get worried that if the quarterback is having a real good connection with a wide receiver one, they can just exploit our secondary and really cause us troubles.
That's the interesting thing about the AFC. You just mentioned the only 2
I was trying to go
alpha type wide receivers.
Really
those are the only 2.
Yeah.
There's some other good receivers, right? But those are the 2 that are like your 6'4", big, athletic, explosive, strong hands. And Nico Collins is on another level than Cortland Sutton, but Cortland Sutton has some of that to his game too. The thing about those teams is that would scare me more if you had better with the Broncos, a better overall quarterback, honestly. I mean, credit to Bo Nix, but I think he's one of the lower tier quarterbacks in the AFC playoff picture. And then with the Texans, I mean, their offense is still struggling to pass protect, to be consistent in any way, shape, or form. I mean, yeah, Nico Collins, that's scary playing against him as a Jaguar fan, no doubt about it. But I think you can feel some confidence just in those matchups in general. Jaguars defense versus Texans offense, Jaguars defense versus Broncos offense. But I have to agree with you.
What about a DK Metcalf?
That's Super Bowl.
Well, no, he's in the.
Oh no, that's the Steelers. He ain't getting out of the first round. Excuse me.
Wait,
Well,
are they?
have to play them.
I don't even know if he's going to make it to the playoffs.
That would be probably AFC Championship if you actually match up
Okay,
against.
yeah, I guess you're right. Unless we lose.
Unless we get the 5 seed, which all this crap would have
I'm
to
just
happen.
trying to think of good AFC wide receivers. Someone in the chat said Stephon Diggs, but that would be AFC Championship game.
And Diggs isn't really.
That'd probably be divisional. That'd probably be divisional if you play the Patriots, right? Because if the, well, we'll see.
Diggs isn't that prototype of receiver. I mean, he can be an effective receiver, certainly, but he's not that guy that's going to go big boy, like, again, be a monster.
Yeah, and he hasn't taken over games this year by any means.
Yeah, not as much. So, but yeah, I just don't imagine the Pittsburgh Steelers will, even if they get to the playoffs, which is up in the air now.
Yeah.
I don't imagine they'll win their first round game. I hope that they beat the Ravens because I would rather them make the playoffs than the Ravens.
So what's your, I will say another concern I have is also like if we do play Josh Allen the first round, we've only really played against one true running quarterback, and that's Bo Nix. I really don't know how we match up against a Josh Allen. No, number one in rush defense. I think we're still there. So that'd be one thing that's just the unknown kind of concerns me. So what was your answer on that? That's a good question. What your biggest concern?
No, yeah. I think I'm right there with you in terms of just not thinking about the opponents that you're going to play, but just if you just look at the Jaguars, if there's one thing I could upgrade, it would be the cornerback position outside of Buster Brown. Well, I should say the outside cornerback position outside of Buster Brown right now. And even Buster Brown has, he's a little flawed in his game. I love the way he's playing and the aggressiveness and all that, but he got beat down the field.
Yeah.
It was a bad throw by Phillip Rivers, and he was able to get back in position and get the pass breakup. But, I don't think there's a major one weakness for this Jaguars football team right now. You would like to see the run game get going better than it has been.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
The thing about that is they've been playing really good run defenses.
Yeah.
So like the thing about matching up with the Bills, potentially, they don't have a good run defense. I think that game's a shootout waiting to happen.
And it seems like a lot of these teams are like loading the box. Like,
yeah,
they're not going to let us run it against them. It seems like.
So what's your answer, Jason?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of would lean more toward like the offense kind of shooting themselves in the foot, with whether it be penalties or, you can lump in the fumbled lateral. It's like if this offense goes without any problems or without any mistakes, they do what they've done in the games where they just like score every possession. It's the games where they kind of seem to snowball mistakes, get behind the sticks, get a long down and distance, drops, fumbles. Those types of things are where you let a team like the Colts hang around. And I just like the team's got to execute better, which is what we've been saying all year. But, I guess I'm less concerned about the secondary because I feel if the offense does execute, we could give up a lot of points and still win. Yeah. So for me, it's just got to execute on offense in all areas of the game, which is easier said than done. I know.
Yeah. And, guys in the secondary are still making a lot of plays. You don't have to be perfect. You don't want to give up a bunch of back-breaking deep passes down the field, which it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of that in the AFC playoffs. You never know. But these guys make plays. I mean, Jarian Jones, even Eric Murray, who had a really rough start to this game, ended up making multiple big plays for them down the stretch. And he tipped that pass to get the Jarian Jones interception. And, Antonio Johnson all of a sudden has 4 interceptions. Jarian Jones has 3 interceptions. These guys are making, and Buster Brown, I mean, he was making play after play after play, and he's done that all year.
Yeah.
So I think you can feel, I think Jags fans should be confident in any matchup that they get right now.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And there's so right now, I guess we can talk about it. I mean, the Jaguars are like it's looking like it's most likely going to be the Bills when you run through different like scenarios and stuff like that. And with the Bills, it's been obviously a weird year. I mean, they don't have like the greatest roster overall right now. They are flawed in it, but their overall thing is they have Josh Allen, right? And Josh Allen, they're going to rise or fall with Josh Allen. If Josh Allen does not have a good game, you're going to see what they had last night where they score limited points. But, he's a guy that can really take over. So when it comes to like, I guess, power ranking your opponents, I think we'd all like to play the Chargers potentially the most, but would you have rather received the Bills in the first round at home or the Texans?
I would rather play the Texans. And I know that that's a bold take, but honestly, I just Josh Allen is an animal. He's unbelievable. And you also have James Cook, who is running. I mean, I think he's leading the NFL in rushing now. And what really is kind of a key to all this is they have a really good offensive line. And nobody seems to talk about that. But they have a good offensive line. They run the ball well behind that offensive line. They pass protect well behind that offensive line. Yeah, everything else is pretty much lacking for the Bills outside of those things. But those are 3 pretty damn good things to have. Mm-hmm. And the Texans, to me, they should have lost to the Chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, how does Cam Dicker go from being the greatest young kicker ever besides Cam Little to being a guy who can't make a 30-something yard kick and miss an extra point?
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And you were talking about not giving up big plays. I mean, right off the rip, they give up 2 huge plays to the Texans.
Yeah, I mean that's all the Texans did offensively, right? They just had 2 big plays that if you're that doesn't usually happen. Like I don't know, that first play the guy got like 10 yards behind the safety. I'm like, how does that even happen? It's just they scored off broken plays. Yeah, their offense it's definitely concerning. And while they have an all-world defense, like the offense is, on an average day for them, it's just not good.
Yeah.
Go
for it, Jason. You're good, bro.
I was gonna say, to answer the question, I'd rather play the Bills. I think Josh Allen's experience obviously is the big deal breaker, but the thing that just doesn't worry me is like their playmakers. I mean, looking at their list: Brandon Cooks, Tyrell Shavers, Khalil Shakir, Ty Johnson, Dawson Knox, Ray Davis, Josh Palmer, Gabe Davis. Like, yeah, James Cook's going to get a healthy dose of running, like 20 carries last week against the Eagles in a loss. But they don't seem to have enough skill positions or skill in general to, I think the Jags won't have a problem with them. Where I think the Texans are hot right now. I think the Texans are playing well relative to win streaks and things of that nature. So I think in the first round, give me anybody. Ultimately answer this question, I think the Jags can be anybody in the AFC. I really do. I'm not worried about anybody in the AFC, and I'm not even worried about anyone in the NFC. Like, you know what? Bring it on. Let's go Rams. Let's go Seahawks. I don't care. Bring it on. So, I would prefer some people, but I'm not backing down from anybody if I'm the Jags.
Yeah, I liked Daryl's comment. If it's a home game, we spanking anyone. And I don't know if they're going to spank anyone, but I do think that legitimately playing at home this year with this football team, you just haven't seen many good games. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, as of late, when you look at what the Jaguars have done at home, Chargers 35-6. Obviously, they play the Titans this upcoming week, but Colts 36-19, Jets 48-20, and they beat the Texans at home. They beat the Chiefs at home. They beat the Panthers, a team that might be making the playoffs, at home. So they've just been a much better team at home.
Yeah, no, I'll say this: the season ticket holders definitely got their money's worth this year, I would say, and potentially with an opportunity on Sunday to be able to celebrate an AFC South championship. It's cool times, definitely. So yeah, and I know it's been fun because we've had the playoffs clinched for about 7 days now, And of course, we kind of knew we were going to be getting into the playoffs several weeks ago. So we try to kind of position ourselves to see who we'd like to play the most. But at the end of the day, if you're in the playoffs, you're going to play a good team, right? And as much as you want to duck and avoid these teams, divisional round, all those teams are pretty damn good. So you can't duck anyway, but you have to win on Sunday because, if you don't, then your wild card spot, and it's really hard because you imagine the path to the Super Bowl. You're most likely on the road for 3 straight games in those environments. That's extremely, extremely tough. So the Jaguars need to take care of business because if you win, then the road to the Super Bowl is probably, home, then obviously 2 more away games potentially. So that makes it a little bit more manageable. But I know this weekend, other things going on. The Denver Broncos are playing the Chargers, but the Chargers are resting starters, so I don't think we can really bank on that. But there is the Patriots. You never know. But there is the Patriots and Dolphins. Dolphins going up to New England. Dolphins, they can score some points, so we'll see. But I think the real shot number 2 seed would probably be the Dolphins to kind of get one over the Patriots. So we'll see. The number 2 seed was what I was wanting to get. But it's just a shame, man. You're on a 7-game winning streak right now, but you've only stayed 1 game ahead of the Texans because they're on an 8-game winning streak. And, you look back at some of these games where, how do we drop that? You look at the Bengals game, you look at the Texans game or 2 of them, because if you didn't drop either of those, you'd be the number 1 seed right now in a good spot. And that's just the margin of error in the NFL. We all know the margin of error when you're trying to get the number 1 pick. It's very slim. It's the same thing now for playoff seeding. It's very, very thin. So I'm not afraid of anybody, like Jason said.
My actual biggest thing I wish they could improve, Brian Thomas Jr.'s consistency, the deep threat consistency.
Yeah.
Because if you had that, ain't nobody beating this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even on that big drop he like double caught it. It's like, dude, just catch the ball, man.
Yeah, I don't understand the drops, the double catching. And I made this point today because I actually brought it up on X today. I'm just like, because I know we're all thinking about playoffs and this kind of stuff, but I was just kind of thinking about like moving forward, like what is Brian Thomas Jr.'s role on the Jaguars like going into next year? Because, right now at the beginning of the year, we were struggling trying to get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter. But now, like whenever Trevor Lawrence throws it to Parker Washington, he catches it. When he goes to Kobe Myers, he catches it. Britton Strange, he catches it. But whenever it's a throw to Brian Thomas Jr., it's like somehow not in his area, or he double catches it. So at the beginning of the year, we're like, oh, it's a Trevor Lawrence problem. Mac Jones was fine with him, but now it's more so looking like a Brian Thomas Jr. issue. And even Jimmy Smith on the when they talked about the fly route that was overthrown, he said if his stance was better, it would have been there. So it's definitely interesting to know what his role is going to be, especially with Travis Hunter coming back. I'm just concerned that we throw a very important ball to him in the playoffs and he winds up just not coming down with it. So that's one thing, to be honest, Jason. It's to go back to your question earlier. If there's any single player that scares me, it's probably him.
So let me just play devil's advocate for a second. It'll be quick, but like he has come up with some big catches this year. Like he's made some pretty, like that one-handed catch he had on the sideline. Like he does have drops, and like I'm not justifying that he's played great by any means, but there's a chance in the playoffs he also pulls in a one-hander to win you the game. So like that's of those things where it's like I don't know. Like obviously we'd want him to play better, and Travis Hunter obviously is a big part that you could talk about him coming in, but like you're right, it makes you nervous. It's one of those things, man. It's like high risk, high reward when 7's on the field, but I mean, I'd probably rather have him out there than not.
I would, but that's why I said the consistency, right?
Right.
You just don't know. He's caught about 50% of his targets this year. He's only caught about 30% of his contested targets, excuse me. He has 8 drops. 15% of his catchable targets have been dropped. That's an extremely high number. Yeah, it's just like you could get a fireworks show in a specific game from Brian Thomas Jr. Like he could go off. He could have gone off against the Colts. It was close.
Yeah.
But you could also have a day where if you're talking about a really tough game and there's a play that needs to be made, I don't feel confident it's going to be made.
Yeah. And you make the point that, he could go off, but what, he's been healthy 12 or 13 games. He hasn't gone off yet. Like, I don't think he's had a 100-yard game yet,
No.
He hasn't
He got
taken
90
over.
against
clutch
Seahawks.
catches. Like he'll have 3 catch. He had like one game with 3 catches for like 80 yards.
Yeah.
Like,
So what is his role now? Is this a guy that goes deep and we occasionally throw to him?
Yeah. That's it. He's outside deep threat.
Yeah, because I'll tell you one, on third down, I want to give the ball to Parker Washington,
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers, Britton Strange. Like,
Yeah.
I just I don't know
you're
if I
right.
trust that man on third. I
You're
mean,
right.
of course, he came through. Who is it against against the Colts where he made a nice one-handed grab? But it's tough. It's tough for sure.
And those guys you mentioned, I mean, that's something that you can feel really good about, though. Parker and Jacoby Myers, his hands in this game were like unbelievable. Some of the catches he was making in big spots, and Parker just continues to make big plays all over the field. And so does Britton. So those are a group of 3 you can feel really good about. I can't believe Travis Etienne did not catch that pitch.
I know. It's like, dude,
He was expecting it. He was ready for it. He was looking
all
for
day.
it.
You catch the pitch. Like, come on.
Oh man. And I feel like that would have been such a game changer early on.
I hated that didn't work because I love those types of plays. I love those types of plays. I hated
and
that
it worked. It worked 2 other times yesterday with other teams.
If we hired Ben Johnson, we'd be experts at it. I'll tell you that right now. But I do want to go back though. So Brian Thomas Jr., do you guys see, and this is going to get, a little bit heated here, maybe in the comments, but do you guys see a situation where maybe he's not on the Jaguars in 2026?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I really wouldn't be either, because I mean we have a front office who is not afraid to make moves, and if it does, because it ties into my question, like, where does he fit in this offense next year, especially with Travis Hunter coming back? I mean, it turns into a lot of mouths to feed, and if they get value that they say, okay, we can get better value out of this potential draft pick than what we would get out of Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know. I didn't hear you, Jason.
Obviously, it would not be surprising because none of us would have sat here at the beginning of the season and predicted Jacoby Myers being brought in. So, like, there's always, like, Dalton, to your point, there's always the wild card of James Gladstone doing something that we're not even thinking about. So I agree. I would not be surprised. When you look at his current contract, you look at what he's doing, and you look at the high likelihood of injuries at the wide receiver position, I mean, unless you're going to get insane value, I see no reason why to trade him. I mean, I wouldn't think a 6th round pick is worth trading him.
No.
I mean, maybe get a little bit more. I don't know, but he's got some history with Trevor. They kind of know each other a good amount. Again, my big thing is, like, you're going to see in 2026 an injury somewhere. We saw it this year with Travis Hunter. You're going to see an injury somewhere to a wide receiver. I'd rather have BTJ as that guy that's stepping in than someone else. But again, it could be Jacoby Myers, and I could be an idiot for saying that. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be okay with keeping him, I guess, is my answer.
Yeah, I'd be happy to keep him too. I think you could try to get like the Jamison Williams route path back to being a really effective, just explosive player on your offense. Just kind of slowly churn it, and the more time he's with this group, probably the better he'll be within this scheme, and the better they can figure out how to use him. And maybe an offseason can get him back into a better mindset of just being able to attack the football a little bit more and play more consistency more consistency.
And that was a story about him coming out of LSU, right? Was that maybe he's not the hardest worker, but he got motivated by, Malik Neighbors to work harder, and that, kind of helped him out his final year in college. And then now he exploded his rookie year, and maybe he just this offseason didn't take the work as serious, and he kind of needs an offseason to get right. And, like, none of us know his mindset. And know a lot of people that sit here talk about, like, we have a bunch of therapists out here that think they know exactly what's going on in his head, but we don't know. But obviously we'd love to have 2024 Brian Thomas Jr. back, but was that a fluke? I don't know. We'll just have to see. So with that said, I want to get to
even like a consistent deep threat, like somebody who you don't think is probably going to drop the ball.
Yeah, or someone that is going to follow through on their route, right? Is it going to slow down? A guy that, and it's weird because his body language isn't that bad. Like, he's a willing blocker. Like, he congratulates his teammates when they do stuff. It's not like he's a guy gets a touchdown and he puts his head down and walks to the sideline. I mean, he's into these games, so I don't know. That's what's so puzzling about it, because I think we would all know that if he's checked out, but I don't get the vibe that he's checked out. It just seems like sometimes he can get lazy on his routes, and in the double catching, like I don't understand, because one of them, like he double caught it and he batted it down because he double caught it. Like sometimes he can get away with it. Like we even saw a big catch he had against, I think it was the Colts, that got reviewed, where he double caught it. He wound up staying in bounds, but that you just catch it. I've never seen a player double catch the amount of balls that he does, but that's just it's like his signature at this point.
I think we would be remiss, and I have a question for you guys that I think will spice everyone up here, but I think we'd be remiss not to mention that Jordan was nice about it at the beginning of the show. I thought the refs were dog shit. I thought the refs were awful. I thought they did us no favors. And I'm not one to complain about the refs, but in my opening monologue, when I was talking about the Jaguars overcoming a lot, the refs were definitely a part of that, man. They could have helped us out so much. It seemed like they were only looking at us to throw flags. It was just like we were always trying to overcome them, and that was a huge part. But I don't know if you guys felt that way, but I thought it was just horrible having to play the Zebras as well.
I thought I don't remember overall. I just thought the challenge, the catch, I don't know in what world that is a catch. Like there was clear evidence, in my opinion, that it was not a catch. Then that changed everything. It took him from a 4th and 10 to them scoring a touchdown. Like that was god awful. But that was the main thing I remembered.
Yeah, I mean, Liam Cohen agrees with you.
The illegal contacts in the secondary, where it's like, dude, like barely like just runs past him, or the dude runs through the defender. It's like, get out of here, dude. I was just like, it was like.
Yeah, Liam Cohen asked the ref if he was drunk at one point.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that video, Jason? Like you could see you guys drunk or whatever. Yeah. Because like I think it was one of those moments that they were like figuring out what the hell to do with the clock, and it was just like, what's going on here? Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And I got to ask you guys, what would you guys? It's 4th and 1 where the Jaguars were at tie game. You guys going for it, or are you kicking a field goal?
I'm a go for it personally. I just think the different situations can call for different things, right? But usually,
but in that
4th
situation,
and 1, that situation, I was saying go for it. I was, just because I just don't think 3 points does much for you. You can get 3 points twice, and if the other team scores a touchdown, they're still beating you, right? Like I believe in trying to really close the game out and put real points on the board.
What about you, Jason? What are you doing?
My spicy question was going to be to you all. Do you think, or do you see Liam Cohen's aggressiveness in those types of situations costing us a playoff game this year? Because there's been multiple times this year when obviously hindsight is 20/20, but there's been a lot of times this year when the hindsight was what everyone was saying, and it's like, yeah, you should have done the opposite of what you did. I think this situation was a clear example of being too aggressive. If it was 4th and inches, fine. 4th and 1, but that was like a 4th and almost 2. Like you said, every situation's a little different. Like that was
that was my problem, was the sneak.
Like that was a long
the play call.
They've gotten creative with the plays, even in
this
game.
To be honest with you, I'm not even that mad at the quarterback sneak. I'm more mad at the fact that you're down 2 starters on your interior offensive line. Like, and you're going to.
I don't like the sneak from that far away.
Yeah,
that's like, not.
Yeah, and listen, I get it. You want to be aggressive, but 3 points gives you the lead. I'm sorry, late in a game, the lead is the most important thing in football. You can look at the analytics, you look at statistics all you want. When there's under 5 minutes left in the game, you do what you have to do to take the lead. And there
was 10 minutes left, so.
Yeah,
9:25 left in the game.
So with that one, okay, 4th and 1, I think, it depending on the situation, we'll see. So how about the 2nd and 2 offsides? You guys taking the offsides in that situation, or are you taking the extra down?
I again think I was on Liam's side with that one, because you're trying to waste the clock out.
No, you take the first down. I mean, that guarantees you 3 more plays at least. I guarantee you 3 more plays, especially when you have a team that shoots yourself in the foot as much as the Jags do. Like, and the way that the refs were throwing penalties in this game, that was another situation where I'm like, dude, quit trying to be the smartest guy in the room and do what is best for this team. Like, don't try to outthink everybody. Like going back to the field goal. If you're up 3 and a field goal puts you up 6, okay, fine. You want to go for it, but you already have the lead. But when the game is tied and you don't have the lead, kick the field goal. Like, you know, at the end of the game, you're trying to run the clock out. Take the penalty so you get 3 more plays guaranteed. It's just, I think him trying to be the smartest guy in the room may get us in trouble eventually. And as a first-year head coach, I'm just worried about that.
So I think phrasing it the way you're phrasing it is a little bit just wrong. I mean, it's not him trying to be the smartest guy in the room. It's their entire analytics like the analytics of their organization says this is what we're doing in this situation, right? So I don't think it's just Liam Cohen trying to be the smartest guy in the room. It's the Jaguars trying to, from a numbers standpoint, make the best possible decision for the team. I do think what you're saying, though, you might be right. Like, in certain situations, maybe it is better to just take the points, to just take the first down. But I don't think that's a Liam Cohen problem necessarily. I think it's more of a, you know, analytics and numbers tell you that this is what you should do clearly. And maybe sometimes that's just too aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, Liam Cohen, he said after the game, you know, maybe looking back, the fourth and 1, maybe you just kick it.
Yeah.
He did say that after the game.
I think my situation with the 2nd and 2 is honestly where you are on the field. I think if you're maybe further back and you're expecting to maybe punt, like, okay, go ahead and take it and maybe get the first down. But you're in a situation where if you don't convert, you got a 50+ yard field goal, which is kind of hard. I mean, Cam Little's been pretty automatic, so that's good. But I mean, I think Cam Little kind of bailed him out of a few of these decisions here. So I just don't know. I think my one thing about the Jaguars that has been driving me nuts is sometimes in these 1-score games, we just have a lot of problems just putting them out. Like, okay, you have the ball, you got to get a few first downs, and then the clock, and then the game is over. Like, I feel like had issues just running it, burning it out, and just being able to knee it at the very end. So I don't know. I don't know if, you know, with the way the Jaguars have played in the past, if that should go into it, or if you should have this aggressive mindset where, okay, that was just something that happened that game. It's not going to happen again type thing. So I don't know.
So one thing I think you can compliment this group on is, like, they learn from their mistakes, it seems like, more often than not.
True.
And Liam Cohen's direct post-game quote was, yeah, I mean, in hindsight, probably should have kicked it. Knowing knowing what was on the kind of the way the other side was going at the end. That's what he said. So the way the other side was going at the end probably means, you know, didn't think that they could probably score a touchdown against you.
Yeah, probably. So real quick, guys, want to give a shout out to this channel sponsor, and that is Sleeper. They're going to get you a free $20 entry if you guys use promo code UCFJAG. Look, I hit 3 out of my 4 picks last week. You know what I did? I missed on the Brian Thomas Jr. higher on yardage because I'm like, okay, we're playing against the Colts. He always burns the Colts. So, you know, if he had followed through on that route, I would have won like $100, but it's all good. I appreciate Sleeper for being a sponsor of Club Jaguar over here. Like I said, guys, use promo code UCFJAG for a free $20 entry. We have playoff football coming up, so plenty of fun opportunities to take advantage of what Sleeper has to offer you guys. So we really appreciate them over there. So now I want to go ahead and get into some super chats. We have God of Chair earlier put in a donation. He says, vibes are high. Love the guy, but Josh Allen had the worst flop. He's talking about Josh Hines Allen had the worst flop I've ever seen in any sports. Can't have that in the NFL. Yeah, what was that? There's no way he was being serious, right?
Yeah, and then he got the delay of game laying on the guy after he made.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. Dude, that was really bad awareness, man. Like, they threw the ball into the end zone with an like, that's dangerous, man. Like, he had like what 4 seconds left when he caught that ball. Like, they weren't going to get a snap off. So yeah, you got to learn from that kind of stuff, man. And like I said, it's good that it happened because we got a little bit of stat padding in there, right? We get another interception for the final stuff, but yeah, you got to learn from that. because
That
that
flop
was
was weird, and like he didn't let Philip Rivers help him up.
yeah.
It was weird. I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know,
okay,
man.
I'm just gonna pretend that never happened. Shout
Pretty
out to
much.
David. Says, do you resign Cole Van Landen this offseason or draft a replacement? I think we found out the hard way. Walker Little is not the answer. And yeah, like we've kind of had this different debate before. And I think, the great GMs are going to look ahead in the future because I know we've all talked about, Jacoby Myers, he got re-signed, ETN, Devlin, Cole Van Landen. But you also have to look at next year. You know who's free agents next year? Like Anton Harrison, Britton Strange, Parker Washington. So as we think about the free agents this off season, you got to have a mind in the future to say, okay, if you power rank some of those guys next year, hell, is Britton Strange, if you're bringing that in, I think Britton Strange at the top of my list to maybe re-sign him. I think he's the key to the offense, and you got a good right tackle on Anton here. It's tricky. It's tricky. Gladstone has a lot of decisions to make. I'll say that.
What were your thoughts, Jordan and Dalton? I thought that Cole Van Landen might have had his worst game so far this week. I thought he kind of gave up some pressures more than he had in the past. Were you worried about this game with Cole Van Landen or no?
Not really. I thought that they brought a ton of pressure in this game.
They did, yeah.
I didn't think Ezra Cleveland had a great game
unrelenting.
either.
No,
I didn't think Ezra Cleveland had a great game either.
The one play that sticks out to me the most from the offensive line is an Ezra Cleveland, just kind of whiff on Tommy Adebawore, just got him easy inside, shot up the gap towards Trevor Lawrence, and they all could play better than they did, I think. But overall, starting centers out, starting right guards out, did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean, we could have. I mean, Jonah Monheim, pretty good player, right? We found a gym in the 7th round.
He did.
I thought he looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought he was fine.
Walker Little was ass. I thought, like, it doesn't matter where you put him. I mean, golly, man. Like I mean, I don't know why we don't play Wyatt Milam at right guard. Does he just have no? I mean, Wyatt Milam was lined up as an extra tight end a little bit. I just don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, I thought he played well when he had to go in against the Titans. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe his injury at the beginning of the year kind of set him back a little bit more than we think. That's the only thing I can think of because, but
that's what's amazing this year. We're doing this well without really much contribution from a rookie class. I mean, look, when Allen and Bashal Tootin, of course, have their roles. We have a special teamer, Ryan Lane. We've had Jonah Monheim filling for a little bit.
He's so good, too. Lane is unbelievable.
Yeah. But, I mean, outside of that, like, we're only really getting contributions from day 3 guys, which, I mean, it's honestly pretty unbelievable. I mean, I'm excited to see what Caleb Ransall has when he comes back. We all know all about Travis Hunter, and, then we're going to have a lot of conversations in the offseason because we're not in offseason mode right now, just about how we, integrate him back over here. So, yeah, it's impressive. And, of course, we don't have a first round pick next year, but we have a lot of day 2 picks. I think we have 3 third round picks. So plenty of opportunity to get better for sure.
Yeah. And regarding Cole Van Landen, I don't think that decision is made yet. I really
think
don't.
you're right. I think you're right.
I think you let this thing play out and see how it goes. And if he's playing as well as he has played into the playoffs and throughout the playoffs, you might have to just do it. And he won't be the most expensive, but tackles get paid. So I don't know. Yeah. It would be interesting to see what a potential Cole Van Landen contract would look like.
Yeah, one great thing is, I mean, we have an offensive line coach that can coach some of these guys up. I mean, every single guy that was on this roster in 2024 in the offensive line has gotten better this year. So,
I mean, honestly, who's to say Wyatt Milam couldn't play left tackle?
I just don't know why we're not playing him more. It's just weird to me. Like, because
I think what
he's
Jason
obviously
said is correct.
Yeah, I mean, but he came in as an extra tight end this game, and he's a special teams guy. Like, I mean, is he too hurt where he can't? Did it hurt him that much an injury in August where he can't get more snaps in December? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think he's next. I think he's next on the depth chart. I mean, I think Walker's your obvious one. Bonheim's got a lot of experience at center. I mean, I think he's next.
Yeah, it's just weird to me.
They might also just feel like, and I hope they don't feel this way, but they might feel like they owe it to Walker to get him in there. I don't know. or you just want to go with the vet. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah,
the latter.
I mean, Walker Little has played every position on the Jags offensive line besides center, and I don't know if he's excelling in any single spot. So, shout out to Balky on that one. We have Chicken in here says our baby's seeing the Jags go to the Super Bowl. Duval, I know, man. My son is 12-4 as a Jaguars fan.
Wow.
And how about this stat, guys? How about this stat for you? I turned 32 years old on November 11. I'm 7-0 since turning 32.
Wow.
7-0.
Your Maurice Jones-Drew season is undefeated.
Wow. You know, I actually earlier I was
rolling.
supposed to wear my throwback Maurice Jones-Drew jersey for this stream, and I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys think I'm wearing this jersey? And you guys are both going to be like, because we're wearing Prowlers on Sunday, and that's when I was going to throw that stat at you. But total missed opportunity there. But yeah, I don't remember what losing is like.
Hey, speaking of seeing our babies, guess who coached Will Mallory in high school and coached him as a wide receiver when he was in high school? This guy, Will Mallory, goes out there and makes an amazing catch for the Colts against the Jags last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Proud whatever role you are to him.
Proud father.
Yeah, what was his dad? What's his dad's name?
Mike Mallory. He was our special teams coach for Gus Bradley.
Yeah.
But there was one time.
And Will, he ended up going to Miami, right?
Yeah. Good player. One time we were playing basketball, and I'm like the last guy or the first guy back on defense. His teammate passes him the ball. He's coming down the paint. I see him just like go to rise up. I just back out of the way, and he just tomahawks it. I was like, I'm not about to get in front of that ball.
Business decision Jason's making. Business decision.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I don't want to have. I don't want to have Jasons on my team. Okay, I need dogs.
Okay,
okay,
can get up. I can tell you that right now.
I need dogs like Parker Washington on my squad. So. I don't need no Brian Thomas Jr.'s.
That's
okay,
true. That's me. I'm a BTJ guy. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
So you're not getting paid the big bucks to go block Will Mallory.
That's hilarious. But yeah. So yeah, we have a game on Sunday, right? We have a game. Jaguars Titans. Titans playing a lot better as of late. I mean, they're actually putting up points now. You know, they were having a lot of struggles the first half of the season putting up points, but I mean, they've been putting up. If you look at their schedule since playing the Jags, I mean, it's been 20+ points every week, and Cam Ward is looking a little bit better. So definitely can't take them lightly. But I guess going into this game, Jason, what's your feeling on this one?
Man, I mean, last game against the Colts, I thought it'd be a little bit easier. I was expecting it to be close at halftime, but not to be losing at halftime. So I was a little under. Maybe I overlooked the Colts a little bit. So I'm not going to overlook the Texans this week. I think the Titans need to come out, or the Jags need to come out. They need to play fundamental. They need to execute. They need to keep Cam Ward contained with whatever kind of voodoo magic he's going to try to do with his rookie powers in the pocket. They got to try to contain that. And they have to. It'd be great to see them run the ball. So love to see them run the ball, solidify the ground game, and then just see if we can't just have another dominant win like we did last time we played them.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They have scored at least 24 points in 4 straight games.
Yeah, if you look at they're putting up points. Yeah, it's kind of impressive.
I think it's a little bit of fool's gold. Not going to lie to you. I mean, I think they can get some explosives on you. Cam Ward can make some, highlight reel type moments against you, but I still am not seeing a lot of consistency. I don't think.
Man, if Liam Cohen was a Titans coach, he'd be clipping this right now and playing it in the meeting room.
Absolutely. He's not, thank God. Now, the Titans, we saw how poorly they match up with the Jaguars last time these two teams played. That was in Tennessee. It was in Jacksonville. And I think 1 p.m. obviously they got shafted a little bit on that, but whatever.
I'm glad it's 1 p.m. Easier for me. But
Fair
it's
enough.
not about me, right? It's not about me though, right?
It's not.
I strongly encourage, though, if you're a Jags fan and you have the ability to be at that game, you should be at that game. That's an opportunity to get the 13 wins for the second time in franchise history. Opportunity to clinch the AFC South, which has not happened a lot around here. And an opportunity to do that against the Tennessee Titans while wearing the Prowlers. Like, if that doesn't get you hyped up And it should be a beautiful day, high of like 62.
Ooh,
Come
I love
on.
it.
It's a little
That's
cold.
football weather in my
A little
opinion.
cold for me.
A little cold
In
for
the
you.
sun?
Yeah.
62 in the sun?
Yeah. Ugh, burr.
You should move the
Oh my
Buffalo.
I might have to bring like my thermals, my thermal.
So if the Jaguars have a big snow day and they need fans to shovel snow, you will not be there.
If there's snow, I will end it all. I can't say the words on the stream, but I will end it all.
Yeah. So I think with this, I feel like in Indianapolis, the vibes weren't like, it was a weird, I guess maybe a weird setting for, I guess maybe the Jaguars, because you're over there, like, you're on a back-to-back like road games. But this game right here, there's no way they're asleep for this one. I mean, you're at home. It's a win. You clinch the AFC South. It's a team that, by the way, that game was pretty chippy last time we played the Titans. There were fights.
Yeah.
There was the Logan Cook quote that you had. There was LaQuint Allen talking to, I think it was was it Jeffrey Simmons or something like that? Like,
Yep.
yeah, there was some interesting words had. So there is at least, I think, a little bit of probably bad blood there. And while we did beat them on the pretty well on the scoreboard, there were some stuff that they did good against us. I mean, Jeffrey Simmons had a pretty good day against our interior offensive line. So there's that you have to work on. They're scoring some points, but I mean, if the Jaguars go out there and play their best football, there's no way the Titans have anything that can match up against that. And, we saw what we kind of did to Cam Ward. So go in there, like make Cam Ward uncomfortable, get some pressure on him, and go out there on offense and just execute. Don't have 2 red zone turnovers. Don't, have back-to-back false start, illegal formations, whatever, and put you back out of it. Just don't shoot yourselves in the foot, because, I think we all kind of agree the Jaguars' biggest enemy offensively this year has been themselves. There's been, it's when the Jaguars lose, it's because the Jaguars, outside like the Rams game, it's because the Jaguars just have a bunch of self-inflicted penalties and self-inflicted wounds, and maybe some questionable coaching by offensive play calling by Liam Cohen. It's been the Jaguars that hurt themselves, but everything's on the line.
Honestly, even against the Rams.
Yeah.
That happened. It absolutely did. The Jaguars had like an insane amount of yards in that game.
Yeah.
They just couldn't finish.
I'd like to see the Jags get out of this bad streak of like first 2 drives of the game, letting the other team like get a lot of yards per carry. Like it seems to kind of be a trend recently. It's like first 2 drives of the game, the defense like can't figure out how to stop the run. Then they just shut it down after that. So, because I think that happened with the Titans. I think Pollard had like a couple of good runs early in the game, and we're like, what's happening? And so I'd like to see that trend in for sure.
Yeah, and even our offense start off a little good. It feels like sometimes like, we either maybe the first drive of the game or maybe even the first drive out of halftime, it's like we just, we don't do much with it, or we do like this last game, we do something stupid with the ball. So I don't know. Just I would also like to see the running game get back, because at some point I don't know if I just have to be like, look, we don't have a very good running game anymore. Like, I mean, it's been during this win streak, our yards per carry just isn't great. And it's been good because, I think they've been playing against us good in the run, but we have a passing game that can kind of bail us out of it. But, I know Pete Prisco always says, you throw to take the lead and you run to win or whatever. But when we need to run the ball at the end of the game with these leads, we usually end up passing the ball because, we can't really get much in the run game. So if we could find a way to get that going, and Liam Cohen, he knows all about the run game. So I would like to see if we can try to get that going a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if this is going to be the week for it. I mean, the Titans really shut down the Jags running game last time they played. But honestly, if it ends up being the Bills in week wild card round, that's going to be the game where you get the running game going. You got to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah. And like Robert in the comments brings up a good point. Like when we saw the dip from ETN and Tootin and Allen, Trevor really picked it up with his own legs. And like we really saw Trevor kind of pick up the pieces there. So if he can keep doing that, I mean, I think if you're game playing against the Jags, because I was watching the game last week, and I'm thinking if I'm the defensive coordinator, I have to put a quarterback spy on Trevor like every play, because he's looking to run every play. So I think it's great for us, and making teams that scout us in the future have to like really open up some middle of the field passing, make them play a little more zone, because Trevor could take off on you on any given play. I think that's a really good weapon that we could utilize.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence, second most rushing touchdowns amongst quarterbacks behind just Josh Allen. So, yeah, he
has
him
35 touchdowns this year.
Yeah. I mean, if you actually,
35.
he's not gonna win MVP, but I think he's like has a fourth highest odds to win it, that's saying something, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the MVP race right now. Of course, Matt Stafford's gonna run away from it because just the amount of touchdowns he has is pretty ungodly. But just the fact that you're kind of on the ballot and you're on the Vegas slip and you have the fourth highest odds. I mean, Trevor Lawrence having a good year. And I also got to tell people because, they were in my comment section, like, Trevor throws the interception. Oh, he's back to his normal form. It's like, guys, like, he's allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like he's done enough when it comes to just this crazy thing where he's only throwing touchdowns and has no fumbles or interceptions. Like, he's earned a right to actually be allowed to have some turnovers here and there. And that's just what it is. So he, obviously,
you believe he has one interception in the last 6 games? What a horrible player.
Horrible. Did
Unacceptable.
somebody say Nick Mullins?
Yeah. One thing I did want to say about the Colts game. Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say we should see what Kyler Murray's up to.
Yeah, we should.
I saw somebody make a comment about that at some point here.
Every day.
And we should cut Cam Little. People give me a lot of grief about that, saying that.
Yeah.
Cut Cam Little.
Yeah.
I'm too prideful in my takes to say I'm wrong. So yeah, I still think we should cut Cam Little, and
Absolutely.
I'm not going to pay attention to Trevor Lawrence unless he goes to the Super Bowl.
The Colts game, though, I would love to see the alternate reality in which Travis Etienne didn't drop that. I think they spanked the Colts.
Oh yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
If Travis Etienne doesn't drop that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And that's the thing that I don't think, because people, I don't think, realize this about football, because you can't see it actually play out. But man, the butterfly effect is crazy, because if he doesn't fumble and we score on that drive, and we go up like 7-3 and our offense is rolling, like it could be a blowout. It's just, football is really just, we don't realize it because obviously we only see one reality play out. But this momentum and having guys in the swing of things, and where they stop pressing or whatever, it's a real thing.
Yeah, and after they went down 10-0, what, they're 23-7?
Yeah.
I mean, they could have absolutely blown the Colts out. It's just it wasn't meant to be that day.
No, yeah, it wasn't. Lots of shooting ourselves in the foot. And yeah, I really don't know, like with Riley Leonard being healthy, I don't know why they didn't play Riley Leonard. Philip Rivers can't throw the ball.
Yeah. Well, especially last week with nothing to gain.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Riley Leonard's playing against Houston, because Philip Rivers, like, first of all, for Philip Rivers, you don't need to go against that defense, bro. You're 44 years old. Don't let them break your back.
It's a good point, though. Like, why did he even play against us? Like, that made no sense to me. Like,
I think just because, like, I think it was just like,
signing him made
last
no
game.
sense.
Yeah, signing him didn't make sense. I mean, I think the thing is, if Riley Leonard didn't injure his knee, they probably wouldn't have signed him. But once they signed him, it was almost like they had to, like, here, we'll let you play a few games. And I don't know, just the whole way they handled that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, Anthony Richardson injuring his eye was probably the craziest thing, that he's not available. But I don't know.
Now that poor man has to wait 5 more years.
Yeah, 5 more years.
Yeah, but he did get 5 years of health insurance for his family.
Yeah, for all.
It's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that crazy?
Way better.
That's a lot of money right there.
That's a lot of kids. Yeah.
NFL is like, we'll only insure half of your kids. Yeah, so that's cool for him. I mean, that's cool for him to go out there and do it. And Philip Rivers I like Philip Rivers. It was just definitely a weird situation this year.
Philip Rivers.
Big Jackson, don't forget to make Derek sing the song. Oh yeah. So we told the Colts guy that the Colts get eliminated from the playoffs on the AFC South roundtable. He has to sing that Indianapolis Colts song where the guy's like this is our Colts. Like he has to sing that song on screen.
Yeah, that's pretty cringy.
Dude, I cannot believe
it brings me joy. I love it.
They started 8-2 and traded for Sauce Gardner, 2 first-round picks for him. What a disaster that trade turned out to be.
Yeah.
I mean, my
God.
God.
Still a good player, but not worth
He is, but he's not Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
But
like
that's we're going to go win the Super Bowl trade.
Yeah, that's your, okay, we're going all in and then now, I don't know. I'm fascinated to see what the Colts do this offseason because there's no way Chris Ballard can hang on to that job. I mean, since he's been the GM of the Colts, he's seen every team in the AFC South win the title besides the Colts, which is crazy. Yeah, which is
one
crazy.
playoff win in 9 years, I think, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, they got in through like a wild card. And I think they beat like the Texans back in the day or something. Yeah, it's been not good, and it's a roster that's kind of, I think, stale right now. They have some playmakers, but I mean they have some work to do, that's for sure. And I'm glad I'm not in their position.
Right.
You know, we're in a pretty good spot right now as Jags fans. I
think I saw Trevor Lawrence is 7-2 against the Colts. Is that right?
I believe so. It's a pretty damn good record. I don't know if it's 7. He has 7 wins, but I thought it was maybe like 6-2. I don't know because he didn't play one game against them last year when Mac Jones was playing. But it could be true. We'll have Jordan look it up.
Here.
So with that said,
right. He started in 2021.
Yeah, so that was 1-1.
No, that's definitely not right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was right.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, but I think we swept them in 2023 because isn't that crazy? We only played against Anthony Richardson. We only played against Anthony Richardson once, and that was his first game ever as a starting quarterback. First game ever as an NFL guy. So
yeah, he looked like he might be legit in that game. I mean,
he did.
He was playing pretty, I mean, we won, but he was looking pretty good.
Yeah, and at the time we had all the high expectations, and that was the year we pulled the Colts and choked at the very end. So, with that said, man, I think that'll do it for this Monday edition of Club Jaguar. Of course, New Year's Eve is on Wednesday, so I hope everyone stays safe. Most importantly, call an Uber. Uber's on Jason that night, so just hit him up.
That's right. Absolutely.
He's got you covered. And with that said, Jordan, what you got coming up on the channel this week?
Well, just trying to keep it rolling with all these holidays and, Luke not being able to go to daycare and all that, trying to keep things rolling. And
you have Jason. Jason's available. Jason can babysit.
Yeah, you're going to babysit on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Thursday?
My house is child-proofed. All the outlets are open and ready to go. And
all right.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Last time I left my kid with Jason, though, my only complaint was that he left the house to go get some beer and thought the day was cool, just chilling. So, and cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then for some reason that took him 3 hours. So just be warned. Be
practicing. Practicing when I have my kid.
Be warned, Jordan. Be warned. Okay.
Well, hey, I might have to take you up on that Thursday. We'll see.
Hell yeah. So what you got coming up, Jason? You got your film breakdown tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night I'm gonna go live at like 9 p.m. That's the goal. We'll do a film breakdown. We'll break down the game. I got nothing to do tomorrow night, so I'll probably do a long show tomorrow night. So tune in.
Long show. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
We got both their channels linked in the description box, guys. Let's keep growing this Jaguars community. We're 12-4. We've dreamed of seasons like this, and we're currently in it. And we have an opportunity to clinch the AFC South on Sunday. And like Jordan said, man, if you guys had the opportunity, definitely go there, man, because it's really, really cool to be there, in a celebration mode like that, because it's not going to be like any other game. You're going to see that AFC South champion graphics. You're going to see players celebrating on the field. It's not something that you're going to want to miss. So with all that said, appreciate all you guys being here. Hope you guys have a nice week and a good New Year's, and go Jags.
Go Jags.